Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated to show your appreciation in the traditional manner and make a lot of noise in the very new Mr. and Mrs. Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, just before we hear from our three speakers today, as the Toastmaster, I have the pleasure of being able to make one of the first presentations of the day. Now, many of you may have heard of the old saying, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a silver sixpence in her shoe. It's believed the giving of a silver sixpence dates back to the Victorian era, and it's said to guarantee the newlywed couple a lifetime of health, happiness, wealth, and wedded bliss. So it gives me great pleasure to present you both with your very own lucky sixpence. Ladies and gentlemen, pray silence. Pray silence for probably the proudest man in the room, Mr. Paul Stevens.
How does this work? Got it. Right, this is interesting.
Stand up.
Marriage is a beautiful, complex thing, the joining of two hearts, two souls, as one. Today we celebrate the beginning of Lee and Kim's journey together. I, Paul, the father of the bride, and her mum Shirley, sister Kylie, brother Adam, would like to take a moment to thank you all for sharing in this special day, family and friends and ones that have travelled here from far today. I would like to welcome the groom into our family with open arms, and his mum Maureen, sister Lisa and Tony and families. Lee is a kind, generous with a heart of gold, caring, always thinks of others before his own needs, even asking Kim for permission to buy something he would like quite frequently. I would also like to thank Sand and All, the teams involved, for their beautiful wedding venue, the caterers and all involved in the preparation. And thank you everyone for attending, especially those who have travelled here from Yorkshire, one of my good friends, John Walker, and miles and afar. Kim was born the 10th of March 1985 at Stafford Hospital, in which I remember well, start of things to come. I was working that evening as a door supervisor at Top of the World. I was informed the baby would not be arriving soon, so I was told to go back to work. An hospital would call me when the baby is imminent. I later received a call that the baby is on the way, and Kim arrived late in the night. I was first to hold her. Guess what happened next? Can anybody tell me? She decided to poo down my suit. A hint for the future. Grown up, she never slept day or night properly until 3 years old. That was terrible. Had so much energy. She acted like a gramless princess and loved dressing up with her fairy wand. When Kim was a young baby, I used to sing to her a song by the Commodores, Lionel Richie, once, twice, three times a lady. She used to love it. We used to burst into tears, very emotional. She loved a cup of tea, calling it tuppa tuppa tea. Yeah. Remember that, Kim? Yeah. When Kylie, her sister, was a couple of months old, Kylie was in a carry cot in the front room asleep. Her mum went into the kitchen and returned to find Kylie turned around in the carry cot and Kim with a big grin on her face. On holiday at Skegness, aged about 5 years old, Kylie in a pushchair, we took Kim to a playground and she excitedly ran across towards the swings, then suddenly disappeared. I ran over and saw she fell down a manhole as the drain cover was insecure. She hung on by her fingertips. I grabbed her and pulled her out. There was a 6-foot drop, then she brushed herself off and ran to the swings. In her teenage years, she loved the Spice Girls, singing the songs which I have still got a recording on DVD. Everybody wants a copy, pound a copy, see me later. And this is one for Kevin and Tracy. I love this one. When she was 15, we went to Corfu with Kevin and Tracy, and her sister Kylie, age 11, Adam, 5 years old, and Ben and Kay was there too. Always having a great holiday with them. Kim was the usual sunbathing on the lounger, refusing to go to the pool as the water would ruin her hair. We saw Adam playing with a water hose at the pool edge. Suddenly he ran to Kim and sprayed her with the hose. Kim angrily jumped up at the same time. The sunbed folded upon her. Kim shouted at Adam and stormed back to the hotel room. Much to Adam's and other guest amusements, also on DVD. And if you want a copy, let me know, it's £1. Kim worships our English bull terrier, Rocky, who is now 11 years old. She fusses him so much and he gives her so much love back. We were so happy when Kim and Lee got together, even though not educated in football, Lee, as he sports the baggies. Boing, boing.
Boing, boing, boing. Go on, Michael.
Hang on a moment.
Oh, no.
Oh dear, it's Frank. He's asked me to do some training for the baggies and see if there's any players are any good. Well, what I've assessed is the worst than what Everton have got. So we're going to stop with the ones we have.
Okay.
Okay, so I just thought I'd let you know that, like.
Bit typical Z-Cars come on then as well, wasn't it?
I'm just looking where I got to. Kim loves the ground that Lee walks on, and Lee spoils her, having worked tirelessly over many months to earn extra money to give Kim the wedding of her dreams. Kim has always wanted to go to Disneyland America, and we know that this will now happen. Sorry, Lee, she'll be dragging you on all the rides. I know you are a protector and best friend, and we welcome you to our family, and I know that she can always count on you. We wish you so many happiness and thank you for letting us all be here for a special day. Oh, Lees, please accept this gift. And you know what that's for, Lee? I won't go into that much, but if you speak with Lee, he'll tell you all about that.
Don't you dare! Oh, you wanker. I'm on mic, I haven't said that.
Maybe even have a CCTV copy, but I need to ask Mark Tranter, reference dancing lessons. And oh, by the way, Kim and Lee, we need to book you into Babes Rocky so we can go to Blackpool, because it's been so long. I wish you both all the best, and I thank everybody for today. It's been fantastic. It's been a pleasure seeing you all here. Friends, it's great. Thank you. And family, thank you. You take care all. Bye-bye. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just heard from the proudest man in the room. We will now hear from probably the luckiest man in the room, Mr. Lee Ward.
First things, I don't do speeches. I hate standing in front of people. All I'm going to do is say thank you to a certain few people. Obviously, Kim, gorgeous, beautiful, thank you. I'm definitely punching above my weight. Paul and Cheryl, I can't say enough. You've been absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you've made me feel so welcome. Adam, Kylie, Charlotte, Dean, the kids. Not stinky. Obviously, we've got some flowers to give out. Mandy, the dresses, unbelievable. I can't believe what you've done. Really, really appreciate what you've done. Yeah, away, Mum. Thank you. Really lovely. Thank you. Cheryl, behind you. Honestly don't know what we're doing without you. I've got you an Albion top round the back, don't worry about it. Mom. Thank you, Mum. I think it's gone now. Vicky, the hair for the bridesmaids. Absolutely, there you are. Appreciate everything you've done. Really appreciate it. Adam, thanks, mate. Cheers. I don't want to hear yours. I'm going outside. And everyone who's turned up, family, friends. Claire, first at the bar, as normal. Yeah. Charlotte's mum and dad, they did the cake for us. Absolutely beautiful. Really love it. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate that. What else have we got to put there? Oh, yeah. Jack, Ollie. Thank you very much. There, yours. Yeah. Ella. 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 I've got relations here I haven't seen for a long, long time. My Uncle Tony, Paul, Stephen, the wives. It's brilliant to see you all again. You haven't changed. I know I have. I look like my dad. There you go. There's people here I wish could be here and obviously can't be here. My stepdad David, my nan and H. H, you would have loved H. And Dave. I'm going to start in a minute. Lemon flaggers. Jackie, thanks for putting up with me. I've just got something to say to Kim and I'm done. Because like I say, I don't do speeches. Here we go, my hand's shaking now. Kim, you're my love, my life, the air that I breathe. You're my soul, my happiness. That's all that I'll need. You're my light, my dark, the stars in the sky. You're my ups, my downs, the reason I try. You're my strength, my weakness, the love from the start. You're my heartache, my pain, the beat of my heart. You're my tears, my joy, in the love that you bring. You're my world, my galaxy, you're my everything. I will love you forever, always have and always will. Thank you. And one more, forgot. Lisa, bridesmaids, all of you. I'm going to lose all the names because my head's gone. Thank you very much, you've been absolutely brilliant. And Lisa, the flowers, absolutely beautiful. Really appreciate it. Paul Fuzz, Fuzzy, cheers mate. Tony, cheers mate. Adam, yeah, all right. I'm going to the toilet now. Ta! All right. Yep. I hate doing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from the proudest man in the room, the luckiest man in the room. We will now hear from probably the most nervous man in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the highlight of the afternoon, Mr. Adam Stevens.
Not yet. Good afternoon, evening everyone. I've been looking forward to this for a bit. I'm really happy to be here, for the 5 minutes that Kim hasn't planned today. I can guarantee you every second, every detail has gone down exactly as Kim wanted today, which is really happy about. This isn't in my speech what I've written down, but it's just a story I got yesterday to kick us off with. And it's a really short one, so I'll throw it in at the beginning. It was just a quick story about Lee when he was at school. And his mum got called in one day. Lee had been skiving off school, I think. Yep. He'd been caught pulling moonies at the gatekeeper for the local park. Sight nobody wants to see. I thought I'd throw that in there because I didn't get a chance to write it in. It's no problem. I've got about another 100 stories from yesterday, which was brilliant. I need to spend more time with you, Maureen. So just as a heads up, I wasn't on the stag do. It had to be moved because Lee had COVID for the 10th time. To quote one of his friends, that said, a COVID test is the only test Lee has ever passed. So if you want any stag do stories, please speak to a member of the audience today, one of the lads, especially the lamb and flag lot. They'll be able to give you much more detail than I know. As many of you will know, this wedding was meant to take place 2 years ago, in the summer of 2020. However, we all know that some awful things happened that year. The worst of all, Liverpool won the Premier League, which we can agree. But a very close second, COVID put us into lockdown, and Kim and Lee's wedding plans were put into turmoil. Heartbreaking, mostly for Lee, who slowly started to see how Kim, with 2 more years of planning, 2 more years of funding, could start to add more and more to the wedding. Was a violinist. Everything that could have a diamond put on it has had a diamond put on it. And much to Lee's dismay, dance lessons. I'm not much of a dancer myself, but I'm pretty sure that Lee has 2 left feet, which you'll all see a bit later on. Lee, I know how much you've planned how much you've enjoyed the dance lessons. I know that we've even had our spies, and my dad's already mentioned. Shout out to you for somehow getting someone to take a photo through a 2nd story window of them practicing their dance lessons. I just can't believe that you have, over such a short period of time, learned how to do the splits, the flamenco, the salsa, and even the lift from Dirty Dancing, which we're all going to see tonight. No pressure, mate. Expectations high for your first dance. So, I'm lucky as well because Kim's my sister. Not lucky because she's my sister, I'm lucky because I'm here today and I get to speak about her as well. Kim's always wanted a fairy tale wedding for as long as I can remember. She sees the world through the eyes of a Disney princess. Well, I'm happy to say she's finally got it. It's just a shame that it's Beauty and the Beast. Well, I was going to say, Lee, you look beautiful. All jokes aside, Kim, you look stunning today. Absolutely brilliant. I know you've wanted it. It's funny being the best man here. I've already mentioned that the bride's my sister, and it's only right that I share a story or 2 of Kim as well before I get to Lee. Oh no, there's more. Now I've got loads to choose from. Let's see how many you remember, Kim. Do you remember when you dressed me up as a Powerpuff Girl? Put a yellow t-shirt on my head, yeah? Remember that, to have blonde hair? Do you remember the time you kicked me in the nuts? And I gave you a slap? You ran straight to Mum saying, he slapped me, he slapped me. Not explaining that I think you were about in your 20s.
He was only
It's
7.
child abuse, I think. I tell you, it wasn't growing up with sisters who could handle themselves. That's to you as well, Kyla. Speaking of handling yourself, I remember a story where there was a guy harassing you at a bar, Kim. I can't remember what bar it was, but I remember roughly bits of the story. You were with Lee at the time. You had to go back in and review the CCTV footage. So they go back, they're trying to look at this CCTV footage. You'd expect Lee to be the man that he is, to whatever bloke's annoying her, that he lands a swift punch on his jaw, knock him out, whatever. Couldn't be further from the truth. CCTV footage showed Kim knocking a bloke on his arse. With a stunned Lee watching. Lee, I bet you didn't know what you get yourself into. Was that a couture?
Yeah.
Oh. But the one story that I remember fondly, this is a nice one, when I was about 16, Ash, you'll remember this, we were at a house party at Lauren Hallwood's. Remember that one? Yeah. Where I clearly drank too much. There's a fair bit of vodka going about. All I remember is sipping my drink. I went to loo. I don't remember a single thing. I was 16 at the time. This was the first time my parents had seen me drunk. And when I say parents, like, I wasn't petrified of my mum, no offence. I was more petrified of what my dad would say when he saw me drunk. All I remember is waking up at home. It was the first time I was caught, at least. I had an awful hangover the next day, and I was absolutely terrified waiting for my dad to come back from work. This is where Kim, being the loving sister that she is, and far more experienced in the world of hangovers, Kim took me out the firing line for the day. We drove me around in a 4KA convertible to sober me up. She got me some food and to talk about the night before. As much as we'd argue or wind each other up when I was younger, this was the point where I realised, yeah, you're right. Just drink was bonding us. A lot of people here will know I've got the pleasure of having 2 sisters. But what I always really wanted when I was younger was a brother. I was tired of Kim dressing me up and putting makeup on me. But less about last weekend. So yeah, I've always wanted a big brother, and be honest. What I didn't know is that I'd get a great grandbrother in Lee. That was the first line I wrote down for this speech. One of the reasons for wanting a brother is for someone I can bond with over beer and football. But you see, Lee's a West Brom fan. Did you pay them to be here? Yeah. So what you just heard there was the full attendance of West Bromwich Albion's football club. All 5 of them. So yeah, it ruined any chance of having an intellectual chat about football. However, I did mention beer, and that's something that me and Lee can both talk the language of. Take a step away from some of the abuse and jokes that I've been sending Lee's way. I'll share a nice story. Spring 2021, I've moved into a new house with my wife Charlotte, and I've got the crazy idea of landscaping our garden and laying a patio. The quotes I got were astronomical, fair few grand. And when I mentioned it in conversation with Lee, much to my surprise, Lee said, "Save your money, I know how to do that." Turns out Lee's one of those people that can put their hand to anything and do it well. Another big tick in the box of useful things from a brother-in-law. I've got to admit, I was a bit sceptical. I'd seen Lee trim his own beard. So I wasn't sure how well he could lay a patio. But he said he'd show me how to do it, and the most important bit, a fraction of the price. As long as there's a supplier of beer and bacon sandwiches, win-win. Quick sidestep in that story. It meant Kim had to drive from Little Haywood to Leamington Spa. and she isn't, how you say, the most confident of drivers. A few laps of a few roundabouts, 30 miles an hour on the motorway, and I'm pretty sure Lee got out at some point and started walking. And I don't blame him. I've been in that car too many times. This would have been quicker and safer. Back to the nice story. Lee and Kim came over for a long weekend where we'd dig out the turf, flatten the deep slope on the garden, build a retaining wall. Lee had taken the time out to make some metal fasteners for securing the sleepers that would build the wall. My confidence grew that Lee my confidence that Lee knew what he was doing started to grow. A lot of sweat, graft, beer and bacon later. We got to the point where we could start laying the patio. I think Lee could sense my lack of experience, and he insisted that we'd lay all of the patio slabs himself, even though he knew he'd be aching for the following week, because I didn't buy the lighted slabs going. He refused anything for doing it until I forced some money into Kim's hand, and I said, go and enjoy yourself, do what you want to do, make you happy. And this just epitomises the type of man that Lee is. He'll do anything for anybody that he cares about without ever moaning. I wrote that in italics because I know you do moan. He'll always offer to help for those that are family or friends, and this is one of the reasons why I couldn't be happier for you and Kim. Because I know my sister is in good, caring and loving hands, and I know that you'll do anything to make her happy. This is fake. Even if this means putting you back out for a week by laying a brother's patio.
And I didn't put me back out.
I didn't see him for another month. So that's reminded me, I've left some business cards by the exit tonight, LW Landscaping Services. Make sure to grab one. You've got some weekends free going forward. Now it's not wedding planning. So now there's a tradition for brides on their wedding day that some of you may know. Where they have something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. I just wanted to share from my perspective what I think these are, or what they should be. So Lee's alluded, there's something old. Kim, I can see you've got this covered, you've got Lee. Something new. You've both got lovely new wedding rings, which I had the delight of looking after this morning. We remembered them last minute, Lee.
Yes, we did.
Something borrowed. So we borrowed the suits today. Less on that. It was a touchy subject yesterday. Let's just say that. But what comes with marriage is about a stone in weight. Trust me, I know. So no point buying it when you won't fit into it again. And there's something blue. And I've already mentioned the suits. So we need something else blue. I haven't seen it yet. So Lee, there's a little present for you on the table. If you could open for me and just show everyone what we've got you. That is something blue. And make sure you show everyone in the audience. Feel free to stand up. And now you're into the family. Turn it round for everyone to see. For you.
Can I swear?
Only on microphone. It's just brilliant. I told that one to my dad a few weeks ago, and he tried to put it in this speech. I had to steal it back from him.
He pinched my idea.
That's what he says.
You ask his wife, Charlotte.
Don't listen to him. He's had a whiskey.
Just one.
So yeah, it was a little gift from the Stevens family as a welcome to the family. You've shown everyone you're something blue. I look forward to you to coming to a game next season, embracing, seeing what football's all about. So I know that you haven't seen that before.
Can you just point out to him we are still in the Premiership, and that's all.
Exactly that.
Chair, it's sorts out, mate.
When we get relegated next season. So yeah, if you ever want to come to your senses, Lee, you've now got a top. I'll be happy to take you to a proper game of football. Best man speech isn't something normally about saying thank you. That normally comes from the groom, which you heard a little bit earlier. But Lee, I just want to say thank you for marrying Kim. She's your problem there. Thank you for getting her to move out of the family home. So I'm sure she'd still be there without you. Which I know you're glad about as well, Dad. But on a serious note, thank you for coming to Kim's life. Thank you for making her happy and worshipping the ground she walks on every single day. We can all see that. The love you have for each other is so pure, and I couldn't think of anyone else that I would put up with Kim. No, look after Kim.
You got it right first time.
The way that you do. Put up with Kim or look after Kim the way you do. I'm honoured that you chose me to be your best man, and as Kim's brother, I'm honoured to have you marry my sister. So please join me in raising a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Ward. Mr. and Mrs. Ward. Thank you and good night. Thank you. Is that all right? You've got to put the top on now. We're not stopping till you put it on. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, just before the offering of the grace, there are a couple of church notices. During the course of the afternoon, 2 wedding guest books. We obviously had some money left over, didn't we? So we have 2 wedding guest books to pass around you this afternoon. Please put your messages of goodwill, etc. in. However, please bear in mind that language and phrases which are in common use today may not be understandable by grandchildren in the future. Also, today's wedding breakfast is an afternoon tea. It is a buffet, so the staff here will be calling you up a table at a time, so please be patient. There is plenty to eat. There will be lots for you, even if you're on the last table.
Lee goes first.
Ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the offering of the grace. Good wine, good meat, good God. Let's eat.